So you just went through that fabulous story about your student who you advocated to get into Ohio State, who then became this star and this scholar at Ohio State. The number of notes and the things when people saw your nomination that came from people who weren't that person, meaning that these were people who struggled in mathematics, who struggled in life, that talked about how Koz changed their life, right? So what is it that, gave you, drove you to reach to those kids and make such a difference in so many lives?
Well, I wasn't a normal teacher in that regard. There were rules that were meant to be followed,
Mm-hmm.
that sometimes, to no fault of their own, kids couldn't follow those specific rules all the time.
Right.
But it wasn't their fault.
You mean
So-
standardized testing or
Yeah,
structure?
yeah, a rule of the school that you had
Yeah.
to do this, you had to do that, you had to dress like this. I had a student, his name, I'll use his name or not.
Nah, but
No names? Okay. He would come to my geometry class almost every day with grease under his nails and, just kind of usually wore one of those army jackets, whatever you
Yeah.
call it, green. And he would sit in the back of my class. I can envision it to this day. And he'd put his head down. This was early morning, maybe second period. And he'd put his head down, and I would tell him, pick up your head, watch how you're going to learn this stuff, et cetera, et cetera. And he would do okay on his tests.
Mhm.
And he told me, I said, what do you want to do when you get out of here? And he said, I want to be a pilot. And I said, you've got to know geometry to
Yeah.
even get into a program to make you a pilot. And he goes, oh, I'll know it. And when he took the tests, he did okay.
Mm-hmm.
He did fine. And I asked him, I said, why do you come to my class and put your head down? He says, well, I'm normally when I get home, I'm working on cars because I could make money that way.
Mhm.
So I fix people's cars. That's why he had the grease under it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I said, okay. I said, just try to stay awake and as long as you're doing okay, I'm not going to bother you that much. I said, because, I know you have an extenuating circumstance.
Mhm.
You need to make money.
Right. Right.
And so he worked till late at night on the cars. So 10 years later, 10 years maybe more, my classroom up in 216 is, if you look out of down the hallway, behind people coming this way is a big window.
Yep.
And when the light is shining in that window, you can't tell who the people are coming at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember.
So I'm standing out there. It was my off period. I'm standing out there, and I look and I see this person coming towards me, and he's got a uniform on, and he's got a hat under his arm. I said, I remembered his name. I said, oh my God. He goes, guess what? I said, I'm a pilot. And his hat was, he was a pilot for, at the time, not United. It was one of the main airlines.
Like American or somebody like that.
Flying transcontinental
Oh my gosh.
flights flying from New York to Europe somewhere.
He made it.
Made it.
He made it. All that dedication and that time, and
He made it.
yeah, I can see the pride in your face for this kid. Yeah,
Oh my God, he just,
what a wonderful story.
I gave him a big hug. I didn't know if he wanted one, but I gave him a big hug.
There's a reason he showed back up.
He wanted to show me. See?
Yeah, that's right.